Bach Cello Suite. Always good to check out your key signature because that tells you what the important notes are. This is in D major, so we're straight away should be alert to the fact that there'll be a lot of Ds resonating through this piece, and because it's Bach, there'll be a lot of open strings resonating through this piece. That's just what he does. Now, the best recording you can look at is Yo-Yo Ma playing these, because his phrasing and his intonation and his musical sensitivity is fantastic. Unfortunately, because he's a cellist, what he's doing with his bow doesn't look like what we're doing with our bow, or more specifically what we're doing with our bow hand. This needs a really soft bow hold and a lot of relaxed weight in the right elbow. So before you start the piece, I'd recommend just getting the hang of this crossing. That's what a weather change does to you. There's not a lot of movement in my arm, it's mostly coming from my hand and wrist. If you can get that technique to get nice clear tone on all your strings and well-spaced crossings, you just got the first 3 lines sorted out, right? In the 4th line we need a crossing. So you've got to change the levels that you're working around. You've got to start on level 7 and come across. Oh, sorry, level 1 and come across. So relax in your elbow, let the fingers be very, very soft, and the knuckles really want to sit down in the back of your hand. If you're trying to play like this, it's really spiky. So it's imperative to get the fingers working. Another good trick is to sit your bow on top of your bridge and try and get the bow to move all the way across with just your fingers. Yeah, so even hold your elbow with your other hand and with your fingers, with that super soft back of hand, get that working. And then you feel that you actually want your arm to be at the level of the middle string. So if you're trying to play G, D, and A, you want your bow to sit, you want your arm to sit at a D string level. You reach up a little bit for the G, you bang on for the D, and then you relax down for the A. Da 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 yada da 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 yada da 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 da. And get really comfortable with that flow in the back of your hand. A little bit up, move through, a little bit down, move through, a little bit up, move through, a little bit down, move through. So that the right arm is really soft and relaxed and it's following a really fluid motion in the back of the hand. Get comfortable with that idea. Now, there's nothing terribly difficult on page 1 except for the half position. So I think in bar 11, when that D sharp comes in and you've got to pull your 4th finger back, that's kind of the start of the problems. So that's a good intonation spot to check. The end of bar 12, you want to use your 3rd finger for the C sharp. So we've got there. And you can even use a 2 for the B that follows it, and then you're set up for the A sharp. Move the 3rd finger up. This is a weird C sharp, so you've got an extension through your 3rd finger, and then the 2nd finger comes up behind it. So you can think about this as being in 2nd position if you like, and the 3rd finger's low, or you can think about stretching the 3 and then moving the 2, but then you want to release the back of your hand so you're not operating like this all the time, but you've rebalanced your hand around the fingers you're using. So in bar 15, find your C sharp. I think of this as being like a short 2nd position. Then we go to half position. Sorry, I fudged that. Half position again. You can hear my 3rd finger doesn't want to come off. It's bizarre. Try again. For me. Then out to 1st position. And then we're fine, right? Oh, until we get to bar 20. And you have to go back to half position for this. You also need your second finger to hold both strings simultaneously. Not a new idea, you've done this since book 3. Becker Gavotte and Gavotte in G major, and then of course in Bach double millions of times. Maybe just different because it's in set half position? I don't know. Then you do it again. Open G in bar 21, isn't that nice at the top of the page? Now, definitely listen to the phrasing that we get when we get to bar 29. It's where we have those slurs over the bar lines. We're starting with a quaver, not a semi-quaver. Ba da 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 da. You have a tension between the bowing over the bar lines and over the beat and where your cadence is taking you or where the melody is taking you. So I would take that a few times without the bowing, take the bowing out of it and think of 1, 2. So your accents are correct. Get comfortable with that before you try putting the slurs in because they'll mess with your sense of balance. You'll start wanting to accent the first note of the slur instead of the last note, which is what we're supposed to be doing. Stop and practice that. Now, in bar 33, Bach's borrowing from Vivaldi. Well, that's how I think about it just because back in Vivaldi A minor in book 4, we played... So we're very familiar already with the idea of this perfect intonation, synchronizing with the open string and creating this huge ringing tone that really builds easily. And you're going to need that skill again when you hit bar 33 because, surprise, surprise, let's just stop and play the notes that aren't E. Well, aren't the E's on top. So we have an ascending scale, shift, tone to E, tone to F sharp, shift to fourth finger, fourth position, and that's the end of that passage, then we break out of it. I would play that again. Ideally, you want to be able to play it without vibrato, triggering sympathetic resonance. If you need to keep adding vibrato to hit resonance, you're actually not playing in tune. You're vibratoing across the pitch instead of being on the pitch. Back in book 5, it's such a good lie detector because you can hear straight away if those notes aren't in tune, they won't ring. And if you're adding vibrato, it's quite naked and obvious because the piece is slow. So I would grab book 5 out and I'd play all of that second movement. Highlight all the notes that should trigger sympathetic resonance, all the G's, D's, A's and E's. Don't forget the B's, they should also be a bit woo because of that lovely thing known as an imperfect fourth. And then come back here and try playing this passage again and I guarantee you that your D's and E's will be much, much better in tune. Oh, and your G's, we have G's in here too, so jackpot. Let's play again from 33 because you have stopped this video and you have played that tonalization I told you to do. Ready? And... we have a chromatic scale interspersed with our A's. Oh, surprise, surprise, it's a D major scale. Who would have guessed? Bach, D major scale. Who knew? Let's play that again from 37. Chromatic, use the 4, E, F natural, move the 1, 2 beside, 3 beside, shift to 3rd, 2 beside, shift to 4th, move the 2. That fingering is a little bit unorthodox. It's designed to set you up for the next phrase. That's why we don't use a 4 for the D. We use our 3rd finger. Again. Use the 4. 1, move the 1. 3, 3rd position. So at the top, in 4th position, you're playing 1, 2, 2, 3. And then you're set up in a really great 4th position. Your elbows pivoted through nicely, of course. And you're ready for your next little bit. Check your fingers here. If you don't have a semitone, fix it. That's an A. It's not going to ring fantastically because you've blocked off your A string with a finger, so technically you don't have an A string anymore. But it should still sound nice. This is where you have to think about your E. So now you've got a 1st finger holding both strings. It's jumped across a little bit. Bring the 2nd finger in right behind the 3rd for C sharp. I like 3rd position here, don't tell anyone. 4th position will give you slightly better vibrato. I always feel a bit safer in 3rd. So I don't know, try it both ways and see which one you prefer. Make sure you practice this in chunks. I like working backwards, so I actually really prefer to play the last 3 lines from where that chromatic passage starts. Then I like playing the 2 lines before, 33, with the resonance and playing on to the end because this is the hard bit. And then I like going back to where this weird phrasing starts at 29. And then I tend to just keep going because that's harder than the weird phrasing bit. And then I like going in search of the accidentals up here in bars 25 and 26. And then drilling the half position stuff over here so that it becomes natural. And of course, you always want to think about that relaxed right arm with the back of your hand doing the bulk of the work. Just to reiterate, the most valuable thing you can do is stick your bow on your bridge. Make sure that your arm is at the level of the center string and just practice this idea, okay? Flapping in the wind, super, super floppy fingers. Yeah, my fingers really are moving that much, it's not a lie, okay? Then you can make a little bit of sound. And then I'd practice the string patterns of the very beginning, like we did at the start of the video. Hope that helps.